So if you watched my video last night, I was talking about my neighbor. And if you haven't watched it and you're interested, head over because, yeah, it'll make more sense in this video. But I was up half the night. When I say I was up half the night and I was talking to God and I was just trying to get understanding, I'm like, God, like what happened? Why did things escalate so far? You know, I'm just trying to get reason as to what was the point, like where's all this going? Because I know everything happens for a reason. Nothing happens coincidental. And I also know that prior to that incident happening, God had already spoke to me and told me basically what type of people that I was dealing with. And that's why I tried to avoid it. And exactly what I tried to avoid is exactly what happened. And that's actually crazy that I'm saying that because I literally am in the process of getting ready to upload a video now. And I'm talking about like the things that you try to avoid is the things that God is going to confront you with so you can heal. But in this situation, I don't know these people, so there's nothing for me to heal. But let me tell you what God was telling me. So, you know, I'm questioning God now because it's like, I feel like this was very strategic. I feel like you planned it this way. Like you knew what I was trying to avoid and you put me in a situation where it's like I had to confront what I was trying to avoid. What was the purpose? And God literally was telling me that I am some people's walking karma. And so are you. If you are a chosen one, there's going to be people that you're going to come in contact with, right? And these may not be people that you even know. Like in my situation, like I'm talking about my neighbors. I've never had a conversation with these people, nothing. But that does not mean spiritually we don't know each other. Follow me. Use your spiritual eyes, spiritual ears. If you're not able to, you're not going to be able to understand where I'm going with this. There's going to be people who come into your life in passing. You know what I mean? Like the fact of the matter is you don't know each other physically, but you guys know each other spiritually. The spirit in them knows the spirit in you. And the devil in them cannot stand the God in you, the angels in you. So they instantly are going to bother you. Do you know that you do not have to leave your house? The devil will come to your door. Do not think that, okay, well, I can avoid everything by staying home. Like, your home is your peace, but the devil will send trouble to your home. And I'm saying that because I'm a person who literally only leaves the house maybe like once a month. No exaggeration. Like, when I tell you I'm barely outside, it's so crazy how, like, even before me and this one in particular neighbor got into an argument. Well, it wasn't an argument. I said what I said. But another neighbor had my mail. This lady came to my door, very nice. She's an older lady as well. She came to my door. She handed me my mail, and she was just checking on me. She's like, "Oh, are you okay? Because I never see you outside. Are you okay?" That type of thing. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. I don't want to be seen. I stay my distance. I'm just a low-key person. I don't play nobody too close. I'll speak, hey, how you doing? But that's as far as that's going. Because I know people, and I know the anatomy of people, and people are naturally curious when they can't really figure you out. And just the simple fact that most people in my neighborhood, they all talk, they all, gossip. Everybody know everybody, right? And then it doesn't help that you have somebody like me who comes in and automatically I have a guard up. I have boundaries. You cannot get too close to me. You don't know nothing about me other than what you see. Oh, she's a mother. She has children. You know what I mean? Like certain things like that. You don't know anything anything else. And I want it that way and I want to keep it that way. And I say that to say, like, because there's some people who literally are ran by the devil. It does not matter your environment. The devil is going to plot and scheme and figure out a way how to get to you. And the reason why this is happening, like I said, these are people that you may not even know, but the spirit in them and the spirit in you, they know each other. So it's like, as soon as y'all see each other physically, it's like instant battles. You get what I'm saying? Follow me. So like, he got his army, you got your army. I mean, as soon as y'all come in passing, somebody giving nasty stares, somebody bump somebody. You know what I mean? It'll be something immediately because the dark can't stand the light, right? So this is what's all God was telling me that happened with my situation with the neighbor. So I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm like, because the moment I walked outside and I went to say something, I mean, I got greeted with nasty looks and stares like, who the are you? You know what I mean? Like, it was instant. And it was no way that nothing, nothing that I said, no matter how I said it, no matter how pleasant I was, it was not going to turn into a good situation. Why? Because that man was evil. That man already had an agenda. That man had already plotted. That devil in him knew who I was. That's why he kept coming down to my house trying to antagonize me. But vengeance is the Lord's. I am telling you now, vengeance is the Lord's. I have seen so much within the last 6 months, whether it's people that I personally know or it's people that I've come in contact in passing. And when I tell you, anybody who even attempts to hurt me, to disrespect me, to embarrass me, to whatever, I lie to you not. I'm seeing it for myself. Like, God's not playing. He's not playing. Any of his chosen ones, if you have been hurt, abused, mistreated, neglected, and people are going out their way intentionally trying to do things to you, and it don't help that, like I said, the devil got an assignment, so they just keep coming after you. They're not coming after you. They're coming after God. That's the reason why it's so intense. And that's also the reason why when you handle a situation, for the most part, you're by yourself. Think about it. Every time you're out somewhere, you're doing something, you're by yourself. And other people, they have people with them, right? So they got other people with them. You're by yourself. What I'm getting at is you don't need an army. You don't need nobody. You have God with you. And guess what? You always somehow, some way handle a situation and walk away scratch free. Me, not saying like you're always physically fighting, obviously, like ain't nobody going to jail. But what I'm saying is every situation, no matter how bad it looks, no matter how many people come against you, you always end up on top. Why do you think that is? God's not playing. He got the power. He don't care he does not care who these people think they are. He shows them every time who he is. And when these people cross you, they're crossing God. And because of that, God is releasing his vengeance across people. And guess what? They will never forget you. They will never forget your name. They will never forget your face. They will never forget the interaction you guys had. They will never, ever forget. And this actually makes me think back to a story time I had put on my TikTok a couple, maybe about 2 months ago. It was a situation where me and my daughter was at the grocery store, y'all. We was at the grocery store, and to make a long story short, I had handed my daughter a $5 bill. We're standing at like the lottery machine so we can get like scratch offs, right? And it's like a vending machine. There's no person standing behind the register. So I hand my daughter the $5. She put it in the machine. She pick out a number and blah, blah, blah. It was an evil bitch in there. When I tell you, she just could not let her evilness just stay where it was. She had to say something to me. She had to say something to my daughter. It's like she walked past us and gave my daughter, the nastiest look. Mind you, my daughter's a teenager. First of all, you're so out of line. Why are you looking at my daughter like that? We didn't do anything wrong. We didn't steal anything. Like, why would you walk past her and look at her like that? And then to the point where she's questioning me, like, Mommy, what did I do wrong? Nothing. But the devil in her knows the God in you, and that instantly disturbs people. You hear what I'm saying? And that woman tried to embarrass me so bad in front of the store. Mind you, it's a big grocery store. I was at Winn-Dixie. So many people, you know what I mean, in the store, whether shoppers or workers. She called the supervisors on the intercom, having them rush up to the front of the store like I was doing something out of control. Next thing, I'm thinking like she about to call the cops. You know what I mean? Like, I know how people put you playing sometimes. And I'm like, bro, all of this because my daughter put the money in the machine? Even though she's not of age, I'm standing right there. She's not doing nothing by herself. That woman tried everything in her power to hurt me. And when I say that shit backfired so bad, she probably embarrassed to go to work still to this day. That woman will never forget me. She will never forget. Anybody who heard that situation, they will never forget. That was her karma. That was her karma. She didn't come against me. She came against God. And I guarantee that woman will never make that mistake again. And I'm not talking about just me physically. I'm talking about she'll be more cautious of how she interacts with people going forward. That imprint is going to be long lasting in that woman's life. You get what I'm saying? God is going to do something where it's going to be so severe. People are not going to be able to handle it. And they literally are going to be stuck. Like, this is your karma. You ain't going to be able to do nothing. The power is not within you. And as much power as they thought they had, they're going to realize, like, damn, like, this shit backfired. Just like my neighbor. Shit backfired. It wasn't the way you thought it was going to go down. And the problem with everything that I just said is that these people have been doing this for so long. Like, not always necessarily to you. It could be people have been repeatedly doing things to you, and God is just like, enough is enough. Or this can be like a one time incident. First time you run into somebody is the first time you have a chaotic situation. Like, it's actually crazy when you think about it. But these people, they have been treating people so wrong. God's people, right? And God has been watching, taking notes, observing how they're interacting with people. And then God, he sends his best hitter. You hear me? I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. If you're a chosen one, God has already equipped you with everything that you need to be able to handle this life. This life is hard. You're going to be dealing with a battle nonstop. As soon as you get done an attack, here comes another attack. There is no sitting there taking a break. There is no like, oh, I got over one obstacle, then, life is good. No. You are under constant attacks. You get over one thing, here comes something else. You get over one test, here comes something else. One obstacle, here comes something else. You deal with one battle, here comes something else. It is non-stop. But God had already equipped you. He's already prepared you. That's why you had to go through so much in your childhood. That's why you went through so much in your early adulthoods. Because if you did not grow up quick, you did not gain certain knowledge and certain strengths, you wouldn't be in a position to be able to handle anything now. God wouldn't be able to give you the assignment because you wouldn't be able to handle the pressure. You're going to fold every time. But when he knows he got a warrior, when he know he got a beast, you hear me? He already know, like, okay, well, yeah, my son, my daughter, they're dealing with this, but they gonna handle it. They're gonna handle. I've already gave them the equipment to handle it. It's a beast. You're a beast within you. God's not. He don't want no weak people around him. You being soft, you're not able to stand up for yourself. You're not able to handle things. Like, how is that going to be beneficial? How are you going to be able to not only help yourself, but help anybody else in need? You're going to fold every time. He needs his best hitters. And when he released his hitters, guess what? And I'm saying hitters because, I talk street. Like, I'm not saying this, like, to be disrespectful to him or anything like that. But my lingo is very, like, hood street talk. I guess I got book smarts and street smarts. And I cannot help my vocabulary. I am not a product of my environment. But in a sense, I am a product of my environment because this is how I communicate. This is how I talk. So I just wanted to say that, like, I'm sorry, I do not use very, like, educated and fancy words. And I used to be very cautious of how I talk because I didn't want people to perceive me a certain way. Baby, I'm being my natural self. God knows my natural self and he knows how I am. And he knows when I be on these videos, like, if I'm really being me and if I'm really not. And some people aren't going to understand. Some people are going to judge me, talk about me like a dog. It's okay. They hated Jesus first. That makes it a little bit better for me because I know if you hated something so pure and something perfect, I don't stand a chance. I don't stand a chance, and I'm okay with that. I stay in my lane because the person who do matter is the person I'm connected to. That's it, and that's all. That man know my heart. You hear me? Know me from the inside out. Healing from the inside out. He know me from the inside out. But yeah, like, God uses his strongest hitters. Like, he cannot take a weakling to a war. He cannot take no weakling out here to handle no battle. You got to gain a backbone. And that's not to say, obviously, every situation, you're meeting it with aggression or you're arguing or, you know what I mean? No, every situation God's going to handle different. There are some situations you don't have to get yourself all worked up. There are some situations that are going to be very minor, and there's a way to get your words across. Like, I do know that in my video last night, I was cussing up a storm because that bitch was hot. You hear me? I was. But I didn't handle myself like that outside. So I know, like, in the video, it's probably like, dang, like, that's how she talking. Da, da, da. No, I didn't curse when I was outside. And what's crazy to me is that my words are so powerful. I know how to get through and how to say things and not use not one curse word. I know how to handle my own. And it's crazy because back in 2018, my old hospice job figured that out when they took me to court for unemployment. And they had this huge lawyer, this man who got, top dollar, and he representing the company. And then here was little old Monica McCrae, little old me. And guess who won? I had no legal representation outside of myself. Then people thought using them big words and, trying to say certain things. Listen, and guess who? All I had was me and God in that courtroom. They got their whole team, and it didn't help that I'm a young black girl. And I say that because I know the obstacles that's set up against me to hurt me, to make me fail. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, it is what it is. Whether you acknowledge it or not, that's not my problem. That's your problem. But the fact of the matter is, I know what I'm up against. And every obstacle that's placed in my way, God literally boops, boop, boop, puts me right over it. And he does the same thing for you. There's no reason for you to sit here and feel like you can't handle things on your own, or you can't do. God, listen, God has raised a beast. Do you honestly think that everything you went through was for nothing? What will be the point? Good, you know what I mean? Good or bad. Like, what will be the point for God to sit here and test you and test you and test you and build you and build you and build you? And let's not forget, in some areas, he broke you down. What will be the point? You get what I'm saying? So, like, don't ever feel like you're not equipped. You are equipped. You just maybe need to tap into those areas. And a lot of it has to do with healing. When you have not healed, you are not able to fully stand up for yourself. You're not fully able to do anything because it's pieces in you with still broken. And that's not saying like at all stages of life, you're always going to be 100% healed. I'm not saying that either, because that's not life either. But at the same time, certain things, like major events in your life that has happened to you, typically when you're younger, or, early adulthood, those things, it was designed to destroy you. It was designed to take your mind. It was honestly designed to kill you. And the fact that you're still here is a blessing. But you have to break those events down and heal so that you're able to overcome and you become a beast, because that's what God needs. He needs a person he knows that's going to be able to handle the war. There is a spiritual war. This is not physical. This is spiritual. We do not wrestle with flesh and blood. You hear me? We do not wrestle with flesh and blood. Everything there's more to the eyes than what we see. So it's not always what you see. It's sometimes what you cannot see causes more harm than what you can see. So that's why we need God's protection, because there's things amongst us. There's spirits walking amongst us every single day. Every single day. So we have to have protection. We have to be ready. We have to be prayed up and geared up, because you don't know when you're going to be attacked. You don't know when. But I'm telling you, when you got God, Jesus ain't going to let nothing happen to you. He's not going to let nothing happen to you. And if something does happen to you, that means that it was part of his will. Even if it hurts. Even if you don't agree with it. It was a part of his will. And we have to accept that, whether we agree with it or not. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But I want you to know that people who do you wrong and think they got away with it, they didn't. There's some people that you're going to find out. There's some people that you're not. But I'm telling you, like, you are walking karma to a lot of people. And when they came up against you, it was not personal. They came up against God, and God had to show them who was in charge.